Well, I'm pleased to say I'm joined by Darran Keefe, who is a professional punter on the Greyhound racing and has made a successful career of it. But how did it all start, your life in gambling?
I went to Catford when I was about 10 years of age, and I was fortunate enough to bump into people like Paddy Milligan. My uncle and my granddad, they owned dogs with Paddy Milligan at Catford. So we used to go there regularly 3 times a week. And it was there that I bumped into John McGee and Harry Finley, 2 legends of the game. So my fate was sealed really from that moment on, from a kid.
As a kid you were having little bets?
Yeah, I used to have a pound on, yeah. Normally when they crossed the line, I'd say to my granddad, I was on that, I was on the winner pound, but that's how I started, yeah.
And something that's always interested you, the gambling side?
Always, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved the Greyhounds first. Like I was obsessed with Greyhound racing from the moment I set foot at Catford Dogs. Catford and Walthamstow, I was just obsessed with it. So I had a stopwatch. I used to clock all the dogs, used to go to kennels every Sunday. I was like an encyclopedia of knowledge. I knew all the track records from the sprint to the marathon. So from that age, I was kind of on a one-track road, really.
And is it just dogs? Do you gamble on anything else?
Just dogs. I'm an expert on dogs. I don't need to test the waters anywhere else.
So you'd never have a bet on football, racing?
I have done. I have had bets, but I wouldn't have a serious bet. I wouldn't expect to make a living from the bets, from those bets I'd be having. Whereas with dogs, I take it seriously because it's my living, it's my business.
So what is your approach to it, and how does it differ to sort of regular punters betting on dogs?
Well, like any business, you're essentially trying to win a percentage of your turnover. So the way I treat it now is I just want to have as many bets as possible. I just want to keep ticking over. There's never a last bet for me. So I'm just trying to force bets out every day. But then you have to get your staking right. So then when you fancy something a bit stronger and you're getting over the odds, you need to capitalise and make sure that you get the money.
And that's what you're looking for, essentially. A lot of the time is mistakes in the betting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really what it's all about. You know, I don't want to be betting even money shots at all. I want to be backing dogs at 4, 5, 6 to 1 that I make 5 to 2, 3 to 1. Over a lifetime of those bets, I know I'm going to win money. So I'm confident in my judgment that way that, you know, you're taking the gambling element out of it actually.
How do you see that?
Because I trust in my judgment. I'm confident in my judgment. So I know I'm right. So if I'm backing a dog at 3 to 1 that I make 6 to 4, there's never a last bet. If I have 50 of those bets, I know enough of them will win for me to show a profit.
So it's you against the odds compilers, essentially?
In a way it would be, yeah, I guess so.
And you're so confident in your judgment. How many videos would you be watching in your daily routine to be so confident of what you're seeing?
Well, I watch racing every day. So it's an obsession. You just keep up to date with the form and you have to know your dogs. And then going back watching videos is just a refresher. You know, near a race you might want to see 2 or 3 dogs that have run against each other, run again. They might be in different traps. And then really it's price versus chance. You know, 2 dogs could be equal chances. They might have been 6 to 4 each or 2. One week something might have happened in the race. The following week they run against each other. Now one of them's 2 to 1, the other one's 7 to 1. So automatically I'm going to bet the 7 to 1 shot if there's not a lot between the 2 dogs. And that just carries on, that's just an ongoing process. There's so much racing.
Yeah, so much racing. Is it all about videos and odds? Do you look at form at all?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, any angle, I mean, any angle really.
How many hours a day would you work?
Again, that's all dependent. I'd always look at races the day before, the night before, and so I'd know what times I need to be available for. You know, if there might be 3 races I'm interested in one day, there might be 30 races I'm interested in another day. So it's all dependent. You know, it's all different.
And is it particular tracks that you focus on?
Yeah, now I mainly do like Monmore and Doncaster now. They'd probably be my bread and butter tracks. But any open racing at Hove or Romford on a Friday, I'd always be up to date with the open racing as well. The better quality dogs I've always been a fan of.
You make a living from it, but you must have had times where you've had bad runs, bad times, things just not going to plan. How do you cope with that?
You just, somehow you just get through it. You know you have to win. So if I'm on a losing run, if I have a losing day or a losing week or something, I'll just work harder, devote myself a little bit more to it, and make sure I win. It's just, that's how I've always done it. I never go on a losing run for too long. All you do is you might just down your stakes a little bit. Cut your stakes down a little bit. It's all about confidence. You have to regain your confidence and know that you're never as bad as you think you are when it's all going wrong.
And you were telling me earlier about a Trixie that we can give an example of and how it might sort of affect you. Tell us about the Trixie that you bet.
Yeah, I had a Trixie recently. I had a £50 Trixie recently. I took the prices, 7-2, 13-2 and 13-2.
Which were bigger. You thought they were far too big. Mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I made the 7-2 shot 2-1. I made the 13-2 shot 3-1. And the other 13-2 shot I made probably 7-2. So they're automatic bets for me. Even if I half fancy them, they haven't got to be naps. I'm not going to want to have £1 million on them singles, but I'm getting massively over the odds on those 3 dogs. So automatically I'm going to play. So the first 2 have won. The third dog, there was a non-runner, so I'm on at SP, and the dog's gone off at 5-4, and it's won. So it's killed the bet. So I was fuming about that. I mean, people would say, you've won, you've still had a decent win. The bet still comes to £7,000 or whatever it's come to, but it should have come to 20 grand. It's a 100-1 winner, and I've not capitalised on it. Through no fault of my own, other than putting a bet on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If I'd have waited until 6 o'clock, known that last dog was a non-runner, that 13-2 shot wouldn't have been in the bet. I wouldn't have had it.
And how does it make you feel when that happens?
Disappointed, but it's part and parcel of the game. The last dog could have got beat, and then I'm just on the double. So it's a small win. But what's annoying is when the bookmakers get it wrong and I get it right, I have to get paid, because there'll be a million other times when I'm having them Trixies and they're not coming off. I'm getting 1 winner, 2 winners. So when them 3 dogs win, it's that clever a bet. I've got to get the money because it's my living.
Well, you were saying the Trixies are a good way for you to bet because it's kind of betting, to what you could afford, smaller outgoings for.
They're stress-free bets.
Income.
I love those bets. If you can have your Trixies, your lucky 15s, so on and so forth. I love having those bets because you're not risking the world. You're not risking your livelihood at all. You've got a chance of winning big if you're clever enough and you can get over the odds. You might want to have like a Trixie for even money shots. I'd rather have a Trixie and try and find dogs at 5-6-1.
How is it as a lifestyle being a pro gambler?
As a lifestyle, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, you have a lot of freedom. You're your own boss. You don't answer to anybody. When you're not betting, you can enjoy the fruits of your labour. But obviously, you have to work very hard at it. You have to devote. I mean, I've devoted my life to it. I've been committed to it ever since I started, because if I don't put the work and effort in, I'm not going to get paid. So I have to put the hours in. So it can turn you into a workaholic a bit if you let it. But it's all about finding the balance. Like anything in life, you just have to find the balance.
Yeah, it is quite intense, isn't it? I'd say it's an intense life. And you say you have to counteract that. It used to be with going to the dogs, but you don't do so much anymore. Now you go night clubbing, so just for a relief.
You have to let your hair down, yeah, because it's a stressful job. And things like that, things like last night, I mean, it's still a decent win for me last night. It's a good day's wages, but yeah, it's a good day's work by anyone's means, but I should have got more. So sometimes you might need a drink just to settle yourself down after something like that happens. And that's when they're winning. There's plenty of times when it's going wrong and you're not getting paid.
What do you do then?
I'll probably work a bit harder, a bit more serious. When I'm not doing any good and I'm losing, then it makes me work harder. I don't go the other way. I don't go and drown my sorrows. I'd rather celebrate the wins and then work harder when I'm losing.
So if we see you in a nightclub, we know it's going well.
Yeah, it's certainly not going bad. Well, there are times when it is going bad and you might think, I need a drink, I need to forget about this game for a day or two.
It's just a real yo-yo lifestyle, isn't it? Between the intensity of the gambling and then having to counteract that intensity by really going and letting your hair down until, you know, early hours of the morning, and regularly you go out a lot.
Yeah, I'd go out 2-3 nights a week, but that's because I don't go racing anymore. You know, when I first got into betting on dogs, I was at university, there was no Betfair, and I used to go racing every night of the week if I could. When I was at university, I'd go wherever there was a dog track. So times change, and you have to evolve. You have to change with it.